The Video Game Hall of Fame has spoken. This is the Kings of Rice.
Zoltima.
And this is MGT Cast.
Check, check. 1 2 1 2.
So, like I said, the Video Game Hall of Fame has spoken. And, okay, before, anyone asks, this is not... yes, we are regurgitating this background, this background that we're using. And I just want to let everyone know that, it's almost like going up to, like, what would you, like, it's almost going up to, like, a historic building
Yeah,
and, like, seeing statues of, say, former and great leaders of their
exactly.
times, of their decades.
Those are the first six. They
Those are
paved
the
the
first
way.
six. They paved the way for the World Video Game Hall of Fame. So we're
Plus, it's
gonna,
just a nice picture as opposed to just 6 boxes sitting there.
yeah, it's. I mean, we could always go through and just, and just repaste every picture. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe in the future, but I just didn't think we needed to do that. So
yeah,
getting back to it, the second class of the World Video Game Hall of Fame inductees have been announced. The Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York has whittled down the list of 15 nominees to 6 new entrants. So just in case you already don't know, if you look at the picture, the last inductees were Pac-Man, Doom, Super Mario Brothers, Pong, Tetris, and World of Warcraft. And so now the new 6 inductees include Grand Theft Auto 3, The Legend of Zelda, Oregon Trail, The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Space Invaders. So we have quite a few classics in here.
yeah,
So, I mean, classics aside from the last one, um, honestly, not anything like, well, actually, World of Warcraft is still, even from like the last pantheon of inductees,
mm-hmm.
um, World of Warcraft is still like the youngest.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna say these are hella old. I mean, some of them are hella old. The Oregon Trail being number one. No, well,
no
Space
Zelda.
Invaders,
Oh, right, Space Invaders
Space
even older than
Invaders, Zelda, Oregon Trail. Well, actually,
actually
what is
Sonic too, because
Sonic?
that was like 1990.
Yeah, I mean it's like Space Invaders, Sonic, the Oregon Trail, Sonic the Hedgehog. This I don't know which came first, The Sims or Grand Theft Auto 3, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's the only one I'm confused on. I don't know which one was first.
But they're still a lot older than you know
Yeah,
than
World of Warcraft still easily the youngest.
they're still I want to say still a lot older than Minecraft, which is like the newer of like the
Yeah.
nominees
Mm-hmm.
by a good, I want to say by a good 10 years at least.
Yeah, definitely.
So now you you went through the last video and you decided to check off our guesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we said this shit already off camera, but
Okay.
off mic, not camera. We don't do cameras
Yeah.
here. What the fuck?
So your 6 guesses were Final Fantasy, Pokemon, Zelda, Grand Theft Auto, Street Fighter 2, and Minecraft. So obviously Zelda and GTA were correct. So you got
Yeah, because
two
I
out of
kind of I
six.
kind of expected at least GTA to be in there.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure about my overall guesses. Okay, now
Um,
going on to yours.
I said Street Fighter 2, Pokemon, um, Grand Theft Auto 3, Zelda, Sims, and Space Invaders. So obviously we both were wrong on Street Fighter 2 and Pokemon. I feel like they were fairly good guesses.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
given well, okay, let's move on to, like, say, like, what was like the more shocking thing. I mean, at least for, like, because I'm actually looking at the Game Informer news article that they posted out.
mhm.
Um, it seems that at least a lot of few people are talking about, like, how did Pokemon not, make it in here,
Mhm. It,
except for this guy troll. I mean there are some trolls that are completely serious, but like this guy goes, it is already as irrelevant as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Only 3 games belong in the World Video Game Hall of Fame: Doom, Ultimate Doom, and Doom 2. What?
anyway.
And then we got some people going, yuck, get Sonic out of there. But he was like, no, just kidding. Um, but there was a few people that were really surprised that Pokemon didn't even make it in there. I mean,
Yeah,
all these games are great.
yeah, they all have their reasons to be here.
Yeah.
Um,
Not that any of the ones that were eliminated didn't. Well, actually, maybe some. I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know what all of the nominees, every single nominees were.
yeah.
So,
I think like we both thought Street Fighter 2 and Pokemon were seemingly a lot just because of like how influential or
well,
how big they were.
yeah. I think if I had to pick which game I was most shocked that not making it in is Street Fighter 2
Yeah.
because of I mean, not let's not take let's not take anything away from Street Fighter as a whole.
Hmm.
But Street Fighter 2 basically set the stage you know, for the future. I want to
Yeah.
say, and like of people who really who really cemented themselves in the I want to say in the future that is pro fighting game circuits.
Hmm.
So I mean that's pretty much how I think of it. It's like I might be wrong, but I'm not. I might be wrong, but I'm not totally wrong.
Yeah. Um. So obviously we were both right on Grand Theft Auto and Zelda, but those kind of seemed like no brainers.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Theft Auto was just like almost like a revolution, in gaming,
Pretty much.
and then Zelda is like, you know, Zelda's Zelda. Like, there's not really much outside. Like it's probably one of the most successful, longest running franchises in gaming,
Yeah.
just behind Mario. So, um, yeah, I think I get why Oregon Trail's on here, but that's the one that kind of shocked me. Um, Sonic I get because even if you think Sonic, like, I mean, the first Sonic game was like, the first Sonic, Sonic 1, 2, and 3 were like, those were all, good 2D platformers.
Yeah.
Um, and I think for Sonic, part of it also is just like, he's such a recognizable character in gaming still. So I get Sonic. Oregon Trail, I'm just a little shocked. My only guess is that it probably has a wide, not appeal, but like it has a wide influence just because, you know, I think a lot of people probably played it at school, you know?
Yeah.
So that'd be my assumption why they chose it over some of the other games. Um, but I don't know. Space Invaders, I get it was like one of the first, arcade games that was like really huge. The Sims was, Sims turned into again, that was another one that just turned into something so big. Sonic, Zelda, GTA.
It was like The Sims was like if I have to give The Sims anything, it's the first like be the God simulator.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
like, so I
giving
don't know.
people control of something else, even if
Yeah.
your life is out of control.
Yeah. I don't want it to sound like I'm hating on Oregon Trail. I guess that's just the one I'm like, no Minecraft, no Pokemon, no Street Fighter
Well,
over Oregon Trail. That's probably the one I don't want. It's not a complaint. I guess it's just the one I probably would have said.
see the whole like shocker thing is like again, like you said, it's not that none of these games are don't deserve to be here. It's
Yeah,
like I wouldn't say it's shocked. I'm just more surprised than anything else. I want to give Oregon Trail its due because it was one of those things. It was one of those first games as a really as a kid that cemented like how how your thought process really was. Like how if you could work. It really set the standard for like a lot of games in the future. Even if they don't know it or they won't admit it, but like it almost seems like this was a game that you really had to wrap your head around in order to make things work because as a standard, as a point, you were pretty much in charge of like an entire family. You
Yeah.
know, making sure they survive, whether or not they survive or not. So I mean, I don't find that it's shocking that it's there. More so than like than say The Sims being on there, because in a way both of these games are relatively the same,
Uh-huh.
because you have a control over the fate of a life, basically, or lives,
Yeah.
depending on what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I had to say I was most surprised that this made it the list over Street Fighter, would probably be The Sims. I mean,
Okay.
not to take away from The Sims.
Yeah.
I mean, because The Sims is unless you were a complete snob, there was hundreds of hours going into The Sims.
Yeah.
Um, you were either a complete snob or you were one of those high school jocks we went to high school with. But
Damn.
I mean, it's true.
Um. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, it's a good list. I don't have any problem with it. I think most gamers would accept Grand Theft Auto 3, Zelda, and Sonic easily. I feel like the contention's going to be with Oregon Trail, Sims, and Space Invaders.
Well, I mean, then again, if you think about it, only I give props to, to the older generations of gamers. They're the only ones who can really respect Space Invaders being in there. I
Yeah,
respect Space Invaders as a trailblazer, part of the
yeah,
trailblazing generation of video gaming.
yeah, like
So
Pac-Man and Pong, and
yeah, like all those other ones, like Pac-Man and Pong and Tetris,
yeah.
from the last inductees.
I
So I
mean, I
mean,
I get it because I was like, well, I thought the same thing. That's why I thought Space Invaders would make it, but
hmm.
I think based on how I know, I'm on Reddit a lot. I check the GameFAQs forums every now and again. Um, just based on how most gamers are, I'm just saying that I feel like Sims, Oregon Trail, and Space Invaders. Those are the three that people would look at and go, "Yeah, but what about Minecraft? Yeah, what about Street Fighter? Yeah, what about Pokemon?"
Look, even if I picked Minecraft, even though I picked Minecraft, like I'm gonna let you could watch the other video. Like I don't remember what I really said, but I didn't expect it to win either. I
Yeah,
just thought it had a really good chance to win. So see, the thing is like um, like I'm like the opposite end of the spectrum, where you search the forum posts and I mean, I don't like actively search for these things; they kind of just pop up for me.
yeah.
So it's like whenever I see
Well, it
it's
happens because
it's
you're like
like
on Twitter and stuff.
I
It
mean,
just pops up.
look at it like this: the Video Game Hall of Fame is, if I'm gonna put it this way, it's a nostalgia fest.
Yeah,
Okay,
in a
and
way,
there's
yeah,
that word again.
yeah.
It's honestly, it's a big nostalgia fest. It
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing is like Minecraft is, I want to say, if not
It's like
not one of the
5 years
greatest,
old.
not one of the greatest games right now. And it's like rising popularity as it keeps shooting up into space and beyond.
Yeah,
Um, but it's really not all they see. Again, it's like why I don't think it should have been on the, if nothing else, why I don't think it should have been on the inductee list. Maybe in the next couple of years I would be okay with it, but it doesn't fit again, I'm going to use that word again, but it doesn't fit nostalgia.
mm-hmm.
See, because everybody in one fashion or another has a memory of each of these games. At least people our age. We'll we'll,
Yeah,
we'll do the cutoff. We're gonna do the cutoff. Maybe I'm not saying that people younger than us haven't played any of these games.
yeah,
At least like Oregon Trail or like Space Invaders. But
yeah,
like
yeah,
we have some sort of memory for all of these games on the list, even the last list before it.
yeah,
Except for I thought World of Warcraft was kind of boring. Shoot me dead. It doesn't really matter. Um, so like I said, they may hate that, certain games are not. It doesn't even really matter with age, but like it's a it's a nostalgia fest. I hate to keep saying that word, but is nostalgia overrated? No.
Well, no, that's the thing is like nostalgia is not necessarily a bad thing. It's the problem is just people. The problem is that like words get used one way and then they get turned into something else. And right now we're in an age where nostalgia is used to claim games aren't good anymore, or they were never good to begin with, or they're overrated. Like as opposed to nostalgia is just you having fond memories of something.
Yeah, because everyone's fucking, the Siskel and Ebert of video gaming.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I mean like I'm fine with all these. Like I said, the only one I maybe is like Oregon Trail, but I mean like it's I have fond memories of it.
You know what I have most fond memories about the Oregon Trail?
What's that?
Is using those big floppy disks on the old
Old computers.
on the old like Mac computers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Will never hold one song of music ever.
I think yeah, I mean honestly, I think the fact that if you look at all the games on these,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that World of Warcraft is on there just goes to show like how big of a phenomenon that game is,
Yeah, and
or
we can,
was.
and it deserves it. It's deserving of respect.
Yeah.
Let's just
And
say.
like because I mean like even I mean like but even that game now is like 11 years old maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean,
It's still hold.
it
Yeah.
has veteran status. Let's
I
just
think
say.
GTA and Sims are probably about 15, 14 years each or so.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's just say it's had a pretty good tenure.
Yeah.
So I
So
mean,
I mean like Minecraft being 5 years old. I don't think there were any other new games. I think Minecraft's been the newest one.
mm-hmm. I mean, we'll never
Um,
really. I mean, unless there's a giant list of the nominees out there, which is probably ridiculously huge.
yeah, but
Um,
I'm curious to see what they do with it next year.
mhm.
Um, but all in all, I mean, it's solid. I think each game has its own story to tell,
Yep.
and why it belongs there. Um, I'm not disappointed. Is not the word, but
Let's just.
of course I was rooting for Pokemon.
I mean,
Um,
our
but
generation were huge on the Pokemon.
yeah,
So I mean,
so that's understandable.
a
But
lot of hurt feelings there, but
it's one of those things. It's like there's plenty of time.
there's
You
always
know.
next year, as the Raiders say.
Yeah. There's always damn. There's always next
I'm
year.
sorry, that just had to come out.
But yeah. So of the six, which of these games is your favorite?
Which of these games is my favorite? I want to say, even if I didn't finish it, it was Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto 3.
Because, yeah, because I mean, let's just say, in a way, it let's go at it from a standpoint of controversial standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So I always looked at it. This game really like introduced me to what it means for games to be, you know, like how bad a game can be,
Uh-huh.
in the eyes of the general public.
Yeah.
Because I understood that the game itself was, the game is a game. Okay.
Yeah.
It really set the standard for me to, to root through all the bullshit that people say. One, I put so many hours in the game, even though I couldn't beat it, because it was at times, depending on how you went about it, it was a very glitchy mess. But still, um, it opened my eyes to the whole like controversial game scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it gave me an understanding of just how you know apparently how easily people are influenced.
Yeah.
Because I guess in a way, like, I have my head on straight? Probably. It was really like, and it's hard to talk about it. It's like because I don't want to. I just don't want to go on a tirade and call people stupid. So even if they know they are already, so let's just stick to it. It's just it it really grabbed me in its storytelling, because one like there were some tones that you were familiar with either from TV or movies or other games,
Mm-hmm.
um, mixed with Grand Theft Auto's like uh, basically groundbreaking open world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it really drew me in because you could pretty much do whatever you want. You know, that was like really its key feature, and that's why it's probably like my favorite on this list. Um, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean,
Okay.
I was more drawn to the open world itself anyway.
Yeah.
How about you? What would probably be your favorite on this list, on this winning list?
If we're just talking about the 6 games on the list and not any of the subsequents in their series, then
Let's just say games on the list.
okay. Then probably GTA 3. Because I really got into The Sims with Sims 2. That was the one I really played a lot. Like I played The Sims and I liked it, but like Sims 2 was the one I spent a lot of time on. Um, and obviously the original Legend of Zelda was like, it is what it is. Space Invaders is fine. Oregon Trail is cool. Sonic the Hedgehog, again, that was Sonic 2 I was more a fan of. So of these 6, it's actually probably GTA 3 then like Oregon Trail, ironically. After I made a big stink about it, but you know, um, but yeah, I'd probably say GTA 3 myself, just because I think it's still my favorite in the series. Granted, I haven't played 5 yet, and I know 5 is supposed to be really good.
But it's tight. But it's like you don't have to like go out of your way to go buy it
Yeah. Um,
because it can hold water on its own.
there's just something about the story, the storytelling, the characters. It was just it's like we take it for granted now. Like
For granted.
not to get on not to get on a soapbox, but like it's so easy now to take like cinematic storytelling like as if it's like okay, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But like GTA 3 was like one of the first games to just like nail it.
Hmm.
And I mean, like open world was cool, just senseless violence if you felt like it, or missions if you wanted to do them. But like, just like, it just nailed it, like it just nailed the cinematic storytelling. That now is just commonplace, but back then it was like, oh my god.
But then
Um,
like at the same time, all people looked at was it's violent.
yeah,
Like no one really sat down. Like none of these older people like really sat down and
yeah.
actually played the game for what it was. They just thought it was just gratuitous violence.
I think that's one of the things I most appreciate about being our age is just how much we've watched gaming evolve
Yeah, because we
from
were in
NES
the
to now, and like, you know, so like to look back and I can know that like, wow, Grand Theft Auto 3 was like, back then there weren't a ton of games that had cinematic storytelling like that, and so not a lot of open world games,
uh-huh.
you know, and then Grand Theft Auto 3 comes along and it's like now it's everyone wants that. Anyway, I think
I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
I think we can wrap it up here. So, if you had to pick one game next year that you want nominated, not necessarily, not that you want to make it in inducted, but what game you want on the nominees list? What game do you want to nominate? Say you have the floor and you get to nominate one game of the 15 finalists for next year. What do
Yeah, I
you want to
mean,
say to that? What do you want to say to that company?
yeah. So I
Or
mean, like,
museum?
put down there in the comments, like, again, well, what if they were like, hey, you off the street, you know, like you just said,
Yeah.
you off the street, go ahead and pick a game that you would like to see in the Hall of Fame that's already not on this list.
And you get nominated. Go ahead.
I mean, you know, pick whatever you want.
Yeah.
Hell, it could be Seaman.
Seaman. It could be Seaman.
I mean, like, comment, subscribe once again. And also you can go to their website, which I'm going to, which there's going to be a link in the description. You can navigate from there. You can actually go, and I'm pretty sure you can nominate a game. So, like I said in the last video, so I mean, go ahead and check it out. Check out the site, and then again, you can nominate a game.
Let us know what you nominate.
Let us know what you nominate as well. I mean, so just
the comment section below.
I mean, feel free to add all your bias. I like to read bias.
Feel free to tell us if we're wrong and Oregon Trail is the greatest thing ever. Actually, you were the only one who didn't make. Actually, I was the one that made a big stink about that. So, feel free to tell me why I'm horrible for thinking Oregon Trail maybe shouldn't have been in here.
Maybe you're 10 years younger than us and don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, and maybe you're like, what the hell is Oregon Trail? Isn't that a game on Steam about zombies?
Damn.
Oh man, we're getting old.
You're only as old as you feel. But with that said, let me leave you with a tidbit of information. So, in June, Sonic will officially turn 25 years old.
Oh,
because Sonic is on this list. So,
rap.
So,
well then,
here, cheers to Sonic. This is the Kings of Rice.
This is Ultima.
Peace out. Peace
Later.
out.